Good memories. I only have good memories out there, so if I had it all to do again, this is what I would do.
This Christmas will be a difficult time of the year for those who recently lost their loved ones, but one local resident is sharing his memories with us, as well as with his family members overseas.
Well, I lost my wife this year, and I was hoping to go back to Australia to visit her identical twin. Can't tell them apart. It's going to be a bittersweet for me to go back there and see Christine when I know she should be Carol.
But this South African native will have to wait until he gets his passport to make that trip. Until then, you can see him working long hours at the stadium in Fort Myers. You probably won't have a clue that he was once a world champion figure skater with a gold medal under his belt.
I never intended to be a world champion. I just skated for the love of it.
He was first introduced to the sport as a little boy living in South Africa.
I couldn't imagine that much ice in one place. I went in, I saw people gliding across this frozen surface. I said, I want to do that, I want to do that.
I didn't know I could do it that well.
I could ice skate immediately, and I just fell in love with it. Within 2 years, I was playing ice hockey, and I was picked to play at the 1960 Olympic Games at Squaw Valley, and they wouldn't allow us to go.
South Africa's apartheid policies made it difficult for Clive to pursue his hockey dream, so he packed up and headed over to England, only to face another obstacle.
They didn't have any ice hockey. So while I was in England, I did my barrel jumping act that I had done in South Africa as a young boy.
That's also where he first met Carol.
She said, oh, come up to London and skate with me in London. So I did. I did a few lifts with her, and she said, this is the most wonderful thing. I want to pair skate. And slowly but surely, we became very, very good friends.
Their friendship blossomed into love, and they tied the knot. Soon after, they also began to make world history together.
We skated the World Championships and skated for 38 years together.
But one accident on the ice changed everything.
My wife dislocated a vertebrae in her back and damaged the nerve, so she couldn't skate anymore. Eventually, I think the medication was just too much, and she passed away this past July 18th.
The couple have been married for almost 50 years, and he keeps a positive outlook on her passing.
With all the pain she'd been going through the last 10 years, I was really relieved that she was out of pain. And I'll see her again when I get back up there.
And until that day comes, he's focusing on his childhood passion that led him to his wife.
I've loved this sport ever since I put skates on. And yes, sometimes I do feel, gee, I wish I'd have my wife here with me skating and doing some lifts again, but I make up with it with my students.
And when spending his time away from the ice, Clive plans to finish putting together a book that Carol has been writing for years. He hopes to publish it after making that trip to Australia next year.
I had planned to take Carol's ashes back to Australia with me, and there's a special place down by the sea, and I'll take Carol's ashes and spread some out.
Carol and Clive entertained families around the world for decades while touring on shows like Holiday on Ice, and he's extending his greetings to his family members he can't be with this Christmas, as well as to those who may remember his late wife.
I'd love to say, please say a prayer for Carol, and everybody have a really merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Clive will be spending this Christmas with his son and his granddaughter in Chicago. Reporting for the News Press in Fort Myers, I'm Christine Lee.